Welcome back to the Sophia D Radio Show. I am with the queen herself, the author, the podcaster, and she's probably doing 50 more projects we don't even know about yet. That is the one and only Miss Stephanie King Mattingly. Miss Stephanie, I want to change the subject just a little bit to
Okay.
your second baby, your second project, and that's the Workplace Mental Wellness Podcast, which I love that you have this podcast. I am an advocate for mental health. We have a couple of challenges in my family, and I have dealt with, anxiety in the past. I'm very open about, when I feel anxious and when I have to go to the doctor. Like, I don't want medicine, but I'm just telling you, I'm going to a therapist to see somebody to talk to me that don't know nothing about me. So I think it's just a good thing that you have a podcast that people can come to and listen and learn more about themselves, learn how to be that advocate for mental health, and learn how not to judge. It's just people are human, and
Yep.
people go through things. What I tell my students, you're young, you're not venting to me. You are
Mhm.
a young person that has problems
Mhm.
or things that you have concerns about.
Mhm.
Your emotions and feelings are real, and you're just coming to get some advice.
Ah,
That
it's
this is
beautiful.
beautiful of mental health. Okay. So the
Yeah.
same way we go and get our checkups on our body and our teeth, the mind needs the same kind of attention.
Yes, it does. That
And the
is
church
so
said
true.
amen.
Amen.
And
That
it's
is
okay, I promise you.
so.
So
So, did you say that you do see a therapist? Uh,
So if
or
I have seen three professional therapists in my adult lifetime.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
I've been very blessed. They have been wonderful. Well, the second one I wasn't a fan of. I was like, I'm gonna have to let you go because you ain't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my very first one, she was super, super nice. And that actually she was my therapist for, I think I was diagnosed like work stress abuse or something like that. I
My
can't remember the full term
goodness.
because it
What
was about
happened to
maybe
you? Do you mind sharing?
I can share. I think it was my first full-time job. And I think it was just personality differences between me and my supervisor. I was very young. I was 22 when I started my first professional job. She was from up north in her mid 40s. So we clashed a lot. She felt like I wasn't, black enough. You talk too proper. The students can't even relate to you because you think you're so much better. And so it was a lot of stress on my body. I lost a lot of weight. I really wasn't even taking care of myself physically. Clothes, I would just kind of put something together, didn't even look good. I was very out of place. So then when I started seeing my first therapist, she really brought me back to life.
Mm. And she did so how? What did you do to get from under that pressure?
Yeah, so we did a lot of role playing. When I would see her, I'd probably see her about once every 2 weeks, so 2 to 3 times a month. And so within the hour, I would tell her, kind of what were some things that were traumatizing since the last visit. We would do role playing and literally walk through, if this happens again, this is how you respond. This is how you should react. And you know, if it is your fault, just apologize and say that you're sorry and move on. And it is okay if we make mistakes. You're young, you're still trying to figure out who you are as a young professional. And I think the beauty of my 18 months with her was give yourself grace because you're young.
That was your lesson out of that.
Yes, ma'am. Give
Were you
yourself
able to
grace.
change that relationship before y'all separated?
No, we weren't, but I do see her out in the community from
Mhm.
time to time, and it feels so good just to go up and say, "Hey, it's so good to see you. You look great."
Yes.
There's nothing attached, and I'm sure she's shocked. Like usually when she does see me, she's just like so shocked that I don't like. It's almost like I don't hate her, and I don't because first of all,
Yeah.
I am fully grown now. I know who I am as a woman. I know my position.
Hello.
where it is with God, and I can go up to you woman to woman and say, hey, how are you? It's so good to see you. You look great. I hope you and your family are doing good. How's the grandkids? And she just don't know how to handle it, but that's not my problem.
No, it is not. It is not. And that is so beautiful. That's freedom.
Yep, that's the
Right?
freedom.
You're free from that pull, that tug, that guilt, that obligation,
Mhm.
all of that's freedom. You've tasted it. That's what I'm talking about. When
Yes.
you deal with your secrets.
Yes.
That's
And
beautiful.
it's real, because I'm like, if I can do it, and I know what I went through, I mean, that was 18 months of therapy. You can do the exact same thing. Like, there are no strings attached. We just had some personality differences because of our age. And that's okay. And where we're from, we're both not from the South. You're from up north, I'm from the South. But I've never thought you were a bad person, but I'm healed from that. And when I see you, I can literally have a small conversation with you, and I got to keep moving on with my life.
Yes. Oh, that is so beautiful. I'm glad you had that experience. And I'm glad that you are open and willing to share that with your audience.
Yeah.
Because again, we're all dealing with some kind of issue, some kind of pressure and stress that's threatening our mental wellness.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a scary thing to face it.
Right.
And you were the younger one. You had the mature response.
and I just, when my therapist said, you got to give yourself grace, I think that opened the door to the healing.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, everybody needs grace.
Let me ask you, did you have a tough time deciding to see a therapist? Because sometimes African-American folk, Black folk don't always want to delve into mental health issues. Did you have to struggle to do that?
No, I didn't have the struggle to go to a therapist, because I know how it looks in my family. And I knew that once the mind was gone, you couldn't get it back. And so I felt like the investment to keep my mind healthy is to take, an hour and a half out of my time to go to a therapist. Let somebody who doesn't know anything about you bring your ish out, and then help mold you into the person, not your therapist thinks you should be, the person you think you should be. Not your therapist, but who are you supposed to be? Who is Sophia supposed to be? And so that's one thing. I don't know if I was quite ready for it because I was young, but I knew I had to be ready, because I didn't want to look like my family with the mental health challenges we have faced.
That was really wise of you
Mhm.
at such a young age too.
Mhm. Because I knew what it looked like, and I said, my mind is more powerful. I just need some help, and I'll go get the help. And I had good insurance.
All right.
I went and got my help.
That's right.
Mhm.
Those benefits are there for a reason. And that's so important with the workplace mental wellness. So my podcast, the theme of season 1 is workplace mental wellness. The actual umbrella title for the podcast is Challenge. What holds you back? And so we're looking at workplace mental wellness right now. And you were speaking, you had the benefit, the insurance. And, if your listeners, do work a job, a corporate job or any type that offers benefits, please look into those, find out what they are. Because many companies in this country have corporate wellness programs with all sorts of things to help you to, relieve the stress, to make the workplace a healthier, conducive environment, one that allows you to be productive and to use your skills and to even advance. So those things are there, including EAP.
Yeah.
My employee assistance program. I know back when I was with my last company, they gave you 6 sessions free. Just try it.
That's actually how I got to my first
Is that
therapist.
right? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so shout
Ah,
out to EAP. I'm sorry
all
for not
right,
ever
EAP.
denying you, but yeah, it was through EAP
Yeah.
how I got started with my first therapist, and they paid for 3 sessions for free.
Oh yeah, that's really good. That's a good way to try therapy to see if it's something, that would work for you. I think it can work for anybody. It can help, definitely help. It's professional help, and
Yeah,
they guide you skillfully, literally through taking a secret, help you pull it out. You're in a
yeah,
safe environment. The therapist, uh, it's confidential. So you can pull the secret out and look at it, and they help you get around it. If things get emotional, they know when to pull back. They know when to go head on into that emotion so that you can get to the nut of what happened and what's giving you that distress. So I would say try EAP if you have the benefits for it. And because work doesn't have to be a negative, toxic place. It doesn't have to be. And companies who do have those wellness programs, are doing what they can to give us tools to take control of our own mental wellness.
mhm. Oh, absolutely.
It's really up to us. And work may not be as bad as it seems, especially if you start dealing with your issues and you realize it was you the whole time. You came with the attitude. I believe we bring, and it's true, think about it. If we got heavy things on us,
Yeah,
going through a divorce, addiction,
yeah,
substance abuse,
yeah.
childhood trauma, all this stuff. I mean, we show up at the door of work, with a donut and coffee, but we're carrying a bag, this bag of
Mhm.
baggage,
Yeah,
personal baggage with us into the workplace. And if you are unaware that this is happening to you, you may be, creating your own problems at work, not to mention creating a negative environment for everybody around. Oh, here comes so-and-so,
yeah, yeah.
got a
True.
chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, it's very true.
Don't let that be you.
Yeah. You can be on top of your issues. It's just one step at a time. And even
Yes.
when you go back 2 steps, that's okay. When you wake up the next day, you've been granted another day on this earth. And so you start back with 1 foot forward.
So yeah, I like that. I
Mhm,
like that.
mhm.
Mhm.
Mental health is a very popular topic now, thanks to COVID.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
we definitely saw, I think all age groups kind of really deal with some type of mental health challenges. And so my question is, do you think the world is becoming more informed about mental health affects everyone differently? May have some that just deal with a little anxiety and depression. Maybe they just need a therapist, a couple minutes, all the way up to the hospitalization. Does the
Mhm.
world really realize mental health is becoming this thing now?
I think people are more aware of
Mhm.
the term mental health. Okay. I mean, because there's just more outlets. There's just more
Yeah.
ways to get the word out through social media, internet, all of that. Um, I'm not yet convinced that just because people are aware of mental health, mental wellness, that it actually impacts their lives or changes their minds. I'm not convinced, honestly, um, because I also see happening in the world this rise of you're different from me. I don't like you. In fact, I hate
Right,
you and
right,
you're out. I see
right.
that too.
Yeah.
So if people are, distinguishing between each other now more and more and more, then that's just
Mhm.
another way to say, oh, you got a mental issue.
Mhm.
I don't understand that. I don't like you. You're out. I mean, it could get caught up in that kind of vein. I think I do believe, though, that people who do care about mental wellness and mental health are more likely to speak about it now, because we do have platforms to do it, but also because some who do take that step into it are realizing that I have to pay attention to my mental health. I have to, because if I don't, it can spin out of control. My life can spin out of control. And things can just really take a nosedive, and I don't want that in my life. So I'm going to begin to deal with the issues. And so and like me today, writing a book, being on your show.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 years ago, this would never have happened. It would not have happened. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I thought that I had to give you the Stephanie King.
Yeah.
And the one that I used to put on for TV news, I had to put that one on.
Yeah.
Because I would smile by day on camera.
Yeah.
And get off that set and go home and cry all night. Many a nights. Because my mental wellness was not well.
Yeah.
And I'm talking 30 years ago. Yeah. But it's true. So, I hope that people will be, as they feel this pressure, as they feel this division and separation that's coming about, that they would choose to not buy into that, to not buy into the differences between us, rather than seeing each other's hearts.
Yeah.
And how we can love on each other and serve each other and help and do good things. That's what I hope that people will choose.
As a working professional and one who has been in broadcast for years and just being out in the community, what advice do you have for people who might be dealing with some mental health challenges on their job or with coworkers or supervisors? What advice, as a woman of wisdom, because I'm definitely not going to say you're older, just a woman of wisdom.
Okay, I like that. Okay. I think I'm wise. If there is any, it's coming. It's being granted to me through blessings. If there is any, okay. Okay. Advice for someone who's dealing with mental health issues. So I want to make a distinction that a difference between mental health, wellness. Someone pointed that out to me recently, and I had not given it that much thought because the terms seem interchangeable.
Yes,
they seem. But when she said that, I thought about it, and I think there is a difference. So when we're talking about mental wellness, I'm talking about maybe there's a bout of depression. Maybe you're under stress. There's a situation at work or a person or a project, and you have to put in long hours and you're anxious about it. There's just stress all around it. That's one thing. That's a temporary bout of depression or anxiety. Something that can be alleviated perhaps by, improving your sleep or your nutrition, or just talking about it with a counselor that could help and get you back on track, right? But when we talk about mental health, I see that as actual medical, psychiatric conditions, bipolar, ADHD, those sorts of disorders and conditions. So I would see that as mental health. Those types of PTSD, anxiety, they need medical attention. My therapist has said to me, sleep is your insulin. You have to sleep. You have to sleep.
Are you talking about me again too? Okay. I didn't know grad school, so maybe.
That's right. I mean, you're going to recover. You'll be fine. You got a lot of catching up to do. But you did it. You did it. Yeah. So no, it requires professional help. Somebody who has that, or schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, personality disorder. I can't even call it. But conditions like those do require professional help and medication. And I don't think it's a choice, because I have seen firsthand, when you don't take your meds and you have a serious psychiatric condition,
oh yeah,
life spirals out of control, and can even unto your death.
Yeah.
There is a condition that you can have that I can't recall the title. I'll look it up again and share it with you. But the condition tells you don't need that medicine.
Yep.
And so if you listen to that,
Mm-hmm.
it can spell trouble. And I have to say this, if you don't mind. I had a friend when I lived back in Texas. Her name is Wanda. Wanda was a poet. She'd written 7 books, Christian poetry.
Nice.
Just a wonderful person. She wrote plays. She had schizophrenia, and but we were friends. I mean, it didn't bother me. You didn't even know it if she hadn't confided in you, right, about it. But a couple of months passed. I didn't see her, and her husband called to tell me Wanda stopped taking her medicine, and now she's living on the street.
Yeah.
He didn't put her out. She didn't want that medicine anymore. She does not need that. She even felt like, God is going to heal me. God's got me. I don't need that medicine. Okay. But it's just a matter of weeks. She just started rejecting everything and wound up homeless on the street. And her husband had to, every day he would go out to try and find her, just drive down the streets to find her, to put some money in her hand so she could get something to eat. It was really and you can't do anything if a person refuses to take their medication.
Yeah.
So I just pray that people will understand that having a mental health condition is no different from diabetes, high blood pressure, heart condition. They all need treating, and there are medications available to help.
Yes. Story is very closely to my aunt, who was a paranoid schizophrenia, and she stopped taking her medicine, and we saw a decline quickly. And I loved her and miss her very dearly. I think about her often, and I wish she was still here, but she lost everything. She was a brilliant woman. Now, she was a piece of work. Now, I'm telling you, she's a piece of work. Definitely life of the party. Everybody loved my aunt because she was a very sweet. She had a very, very good heart. Very, very good heart. Very, very sweet one, but very troubled when it came to her mental stability. And she passed Christmas morning of 2002. And it took me a long time to let it go and, heal from my grieving. But once I let it go and I literally said, God, I thank you that you took her. Because her soul needs to be with you. So that's
freedom
why
from that pain, freedom from that kind of pain.
Yeah.
See it.
So that's why I'm an advocate for mental health, because it gripped my aunt, and I think if she just would have been obedient to the medication and know that it was working in her favor, I know she would still be here today. We all have the fight, but it's got to be mind over matter. It has to be mind over matter.
It for people of faith, even more than that, even more than mind over matter, is trust. It's
Yeah.
trusting. It's handing the secret over, letting that secret go,
Yeah.
but plus giving it to him.
Yeah. And just know it's okay, because think about who else you might have an impact on, and how that your story may actually save the next person, or it can change the next person. Like you don't know, so don't hide your secrets. Talk about them. Get them out. Like somebody's gonna say, you know what, Miss Stephanie, can I tell you for a second? Like I kind of went through the same thing. What can I buy you coffee and just talk to you about, just give me some advice. That's how those conversations start, and they're healthy conversations.
Mm.
They're not bad. They're healthy.
They are healthy. I think any conversation about our secrets
Yeah.
is healthy, because we are acknowledging that something exists in our past, in our lives, in our memories,
Yeah.
that's still with us. We haven't dealt with it. It's still there.
Yeah.
So just acknowledging it is a good first step.
Mhm.
And one of the things I recommend in the book is to find a confidant. Find a trustworthy person that you can just begin, just for the first time in your whole life you ever told anybody, and you just open and say it.
Yeah. And no judgment.
And no
Like,
judgment.
hey, it's a safe place. It's a safe space.
Yeah. Just be with somebody you can trust and begin to speak about it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
First step of healing is acknowledging.
And there's more in the book, so I hope your listeners will get the book.
Listen, I can't wait until the book comes out, because I'm so ready to read it and have my highlighter and sticky notes and be like, ask Stephanie about this. I'm ask Stephanie about that one. So, Stephanie, what would you tell your younger self? What is one thing you would tell a younger Stephanie?
My goodness. It's funny you would ask me that, because
You're welcome.
wasn't that long ago I pulled out this photo just to remind me of who I was way back when, and this is it. Can you see that?
Oh, hi, little Stephanie.
I was 12.
Cute. Yes. Cute.
Yes. Oh, this is before all the trauma in my life, before life sets in on you, right? Innocent stuff. That was me. Yeah. So what would I tell Stephanie right here? I would say, speak up.
Yes.
Tell it.
Tell your story.
Believe that you are loved and you are accepted. You are approved by God Himself.
Ooh.
And to reject any notion, any idea, any memory, any condemnation, any judgment, and just stop it. That's not who I am. Say those kind of things to yourself.
Love it. Love it.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Those affirmations. You're welcome. Absolutely. I love it. That's beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And to everyone else, what would you tell your younger self?
Yeah.
I ask myself that all the time.
Well, what would you tell your younger self?
I would literally tell my younger self, you don't even know who you're about to blossom into. You are handcrafted by the highest. God that you will praise. So you better be ready for the shoes you're going to have to fill.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
All right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because 10 years ago, I never thought I would be the person I am today. And I'm so grateful. And I just always think, what in the world would I tell my younger self? Girl, you don't even know what God has on your agenda. You don't even know how
Don't
he has
even know.
truly
Can't even imagine.
crafted you, honey. He kept you in your mama's womb a little extra so you can be a little extra. Okay. That's what your God
And
did.
even if the world does not understand who you are, you
Yes.
still stand in your authentic
Yes.
self.
Because they are not supposed to understand who you are anyway.
Anyway.
And if they don't like you, you can look to the left, you can look to the right, okay?
Yeah.
There's power when you know who you are.
Oh my goodness. You're right. That is so true. There is power when you know who you are and you're willing to stand up in who you are in those big old shoes you're talking about.
And there's power when God is ready to promote you. Some people may not understand it and get it, and some people may say, gosh, you've changed, but that is a conversation that you and God have had. There's power when you understand that God is trying to move you somewhere. And sometimes in those transitional periods, them people who say they're for you, they can't come with you because you're going to find out they really start to act a little funny, a little shady.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen that.
This has been a whole celebration today.
Yeah, it's been good.
Where the popcorn?
On the show. That when it's time to step up and step out, who's coming with you?
Come on.
Is anybody gonna come? Or are we talking about a whole new life here?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to come. Come on. You can have some of this plenty enough to go around.
I have learned, I used to think I had to have somebody to clap behind me. No. Sophia, you better clap for yourself, baby. Because ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. Clap for yourself. Yes, boo, you did that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
We had a whole celebration. Stephanie, are you coming back on the show again?
Oh, I would love to. Oh, I'd
Good,
love
you
to.
better, because I have to.
No, I'll be there.
Okay. I don't want to do that, but you need to come back on. Okay. So how can people buy your book in just a few more weeks? Is that right?
Yeah, the book is scheduled to come out in July, mid-July.
We don't want to read until July. We want to read it now.
Well, there's a way. There is a way. So what I am offering your listeners is a free advanced reader copy. It's an electronic copy of the book. I'm willing to offer that. And I'm hoping that they would be willing to also in turn write a simple endorsement for me.
Oh, yes. Well, you got me. I'm be first.
Okay. And the first 25 that come back in are going to be on the front pages of the book. I mean, even before chapter 1, it's just they're all going to be listed right there. So I'd like, for your listeners to be in there. Just on the importance of the issue of dealing with secrets.
All right, Sophia D radio show fans, y'all better not play around with Miss Stephanie now. Okay, and don't play. I will find you.
So you'll have that link in the show notes there. Okay? Yes. Just click and just sign up for it, and I'll be sure and get that copy out to you. And I believe that should be ready in about 2 or 3 weeks. So definitely by June 1. Thank you.
Okay, y'all. You heard it from the queen herself, Miss Stephanie King Mattingly. Thank you for being a part of the Sophia D Radio Show. Thank you for helping us enter into our 13th year as an independent radio show. Congratulations on your new book. Congratulations on your podcast. We are going to continue to follow and support you. And y'all make sure you click that link in the description, get your electronic version, read the book, endorsement Stephanie. We want this book to be number one, like New York Times seller number one. And just think that's coming right here from the upstate of South Carolina. Put Miss Stephanie on the map. I just see it. I see you on the Today Show.
Oh my goodness. Lord say the same. I'm willing.
Back on the Sophia D Radio Show.
Yeah, started here.
D.L. Hoogley, Steve Harvey, y'all just go ahead and contact them. Go ahead and get on your
I
book.
know they got secrets too.
They sure do.
They do. Wow.
And you, Sophia D.
This has been a wonderful experience. I sure do appreciate it. And thank you for sharing so much about yourself and just offering me so much encouragement. It helps. I feel good, and I also feel even more courage to go on and do this again and let people know.
Yes, Stephanie King Mattingly on the Sophia D Radio Show. We will see you for our 13th year anniversary.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay,
all right, yeah. Should have been gone, yeah. Should have been, would have been, could have been gone. Should have been, would have been, could have been gone, yeah. Should have been, would have been, could have been gone. Should have been gone, yeah. Should have been gone, yeah. Should have been, would have been, could have been gone. Should have been, would have been, could have been gone, yeah. Should have been, would have been, could have been gone. Should have been gone, yeah. Should have been gone, yeah. Your boy could have been gone a long time ago. Without Christ, could have been gone quick. Vomino's instead his grace fell on me. I don't know why he chose it. I'm so thankful that he did, and for our sins he rose. Yeah, could have been in a casket, family paying my funeral fees. By the grace of God, I ain't been struck with a terminal disease. When I was bound, he set me free and put my heart at ease. Nowadays, minister to the ones banging like tambourines. Could have been dead, instead got rid of the dead weight. To sin, I was bound to it. I was an inmate. No shame, I spit facts to the ones who could relate. Could be burning in hell without Jesus. That's no debate. Should have been, would have been, could have been gone. Should have been, would have been, could have been gone, yeah. Should have been, would have been, could have been gone. Should have been gone, yeah. Should have been gone, yeah. Should have been, would have been, could have been gone. Should have been, would have been, could have been gone, yeah. Should have been, would have been, could have been gone. Should have been gone, yeah. Should have been gone, yeah. For months and a sign, racing toward the finish line. Optimistically ignorant, I thought I was in my prime. Transformed by the transformation of a savior chasing me. If I'm really gonna be honest, I wanted to run them streets. Then party in the culture, never saw the vulture. Thought I was invincible, ain't no limit to this soldier. But the Lord showed me to me my heart was lying. Matter of fact, I could have been murdered like several times. Not even trying, drunk in the club, throwing them balls. Nobody knows why they start fighting. Run out the club, all of a sudden, guess who in the middle of a crossfire? Me. And the Lord could have took my life, but he would have been justified. And I never would have been able to travel the world preaching the truth on the one called Christ. I'm alive though.